Arcade Heroes.
Here's a game that I've been wanting to talk about and show you for a little while, and that's Mission Impossible Arcade by Sega. We weren't allowed to film it at IAPA 2019, but we were at Amusement Expo 2020, and so everything's all good here. So there's a lot to unpack on this one. Here's the mounted gun system. Here's the cabinet. So it has a lot of nice little features built into it to make it like a high-tech game. And so let's talk about the cabinet first, and then we'll get into the software, which of course you can see how the game plays as I talk. But the cabinet is very unique. It's designed to be like an Impossible Mission Force or IMF safe house. And so it has two 55-inch screens. I believe they're 1080p, not 4K. But you have the mounted pistol guns, which at first may feel a little strange, but for me, I got used to them very quickly. I forgot that they were mounted soon after I started. As soon as you figure out where you need to be aiming, it's a good thing that they do have a reticle there so that you can know exactly where you're supposed to point. And so in that regard, it does play like a mounted gun game, but it's still a light gun game, and it feels very much like a Sega arcade game. But on top of that, it has a lot of LED lighting, and so you'll see that as it goes through, and it is interactive lighting, so when you get hit, everything flashes red, and it also alerts you in other ways as to what you need to do depending on what the lighting's like. When it's in attract mode, it just goes off like that. There is another bigger screen in the back there that has a movement sensor placed above it, so it knows if somebody comes in, then it starts playing a different part of their attract mode. There in the software, it showed you how the guns also work, where if you pull one trigger, it does a more accurate single shot. If you hold both triggers down, then it's the spray and pray style. So what you need to use, it just depends on the situation, what you're comfortable with. If you want to get headshots and more points, then you want to use the single trigger. If you don't really care about that, or you have a lot of enemies that you need to take out quickly, then you want to pull both down. And then there are a number of quick time events where you need to use either the guns or the buttons. It'll tell you what you need to do every time beforehand, gives you a few seconds, and just do the action as required. And of course, if you're playing with more than one person, here I was playing with my wife, then you need to try and be coordinated to like hit the buttons at the same time, or both tap them really fast. And so that might take a little getting used to and attention on your part. It has a camera there as well, as you can kind of see up in the upper right hand corner. You can see myself and my wife there, so it has that dynamic camera on all the time instead of just a fixed avatar. And if you're playing against another team there, since again this is a 4-player team, 2 versus 2, if that's happening, then they're right behind you on the other screen, and it creates this rivalry, this race of sorts that you have to do, where you have to try and pass these situations quicker than your rival team does. Now, of course, if nobody's there, then it just has this preset computer, the team that you're up against. But I talked with the director and producer of this at IAPA 2019, Shinichi Ogasawara. I hope I said that right, but he has credits on a bunch of Sega arcade games: Rail Chase 2, Lost World, Jurassic Park, Gunblade NY, Let's Go Jungle, Let's Go Island, Transformers Human Alliance, Daytona Championship USA, Maze of Kings. I also believe he's credited for Target Bravo, Operation Ghost, and Operation Ghost, but that's not on this list of credits that I'm seeing here, but I'm pretty sure he was involved there. As you look at how the game plays, it is very much like Target Bravo or Operation Ghost. If you played either of those, Target Bravo is just an upgrade, like a 1.5 upgrade to Operation Ghost. It's very similar to that, as well as a lot of other Sega games. So if you're into Sega gun games, I think you should feel quite at home here. As you probably noticed, the enemies, when they are taking aim at you, I love how the effect of how they fill up from their feet to their heads in red. And so when it hits the top of their head, that's when they fire and hit you. And so when you first start out, they're all slow, but as the game progresses, it gets more difficult, then they're a little bit faster there. And so you just have to stay on your toes. But here's one of those things that shows you how you are competing against another team, whether it's the CPU or a human team. And so you just get to, I guess, brag about it afterwards if you beat them out, or be ashamed if you don't. But at the top of the screen during the gameplay, there's two indicators of how far ahead or behind you are from the rival team. You can see it at the very top where it says leading by so many meters, and then there's also a bar right underneath that that shows you in green and your rival team in yellow, and just shows how far along you are at the level, which also kind of shows you how much gameplay you can expect in the level. It starts from 0 there. And then there's also a timer up there. But as I mentioned, when I spoke with the producer of this at IAPA, he wanted to add an element from Daytona, USA into a light gun game. So that's where this idea of the rivals racing against each other, having the timer, came into play. I guess you could say that's a little bit like Time Crisis as well, but just done in a different way. And I really like how it worked out. I have played this against rival people, and it's just a lot of fun. Obviously, it's more fun to do it that way than against the CPU, but still, it's just a cool element that helps this one stand out from being another licensed gun game, as well as all the spy stuff that you get to do. And I think they did a really good job with that. There's quite a variety of things. Like here's the sticky bomb, or bomb gum, sticky bomb gum, and there's a bunch of other things. There's hacking into systems, there's using grappling hooks, and a variety of other quick time events that you usually have to use the buttons for. If you're playing with somebody, then you have to be as coordinated as possible to get that to work right. But there are also instances where you have to use your gun at a certain time to do things like the boss battle that's coming up here in a moment. You have to, it has these two circling squares, and when they match up, you have to fire in that, and you don't have a lot of time to do it, but if you do it, that's when you throw a grenade, and yeah, you're trying to hit the helicopter. Spoilers, sorry. For the graphics, I think they're fantastic. They run at 60 frames a second all the time. There's never any slowdown. Have plenty of modern special effects in there, particle effects, and the lighting effects look fantastic. It's definitely Sega's best looking arcade game. I mean, well, maybe or pretty much on par with House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn, as that would probably be Sega's best looking arcade game. Either way, it looks great. So I'm not sure if this uses Unreal Engine 4 like Scarlet Dawn did. I don't think so. I didn't see any logos about that, but either way, it's a really good looking game. It sounds great too. That's another thing that you just can't get from a video like this. You have to go and play it. One of the things that's built into the cabinet, into the flooring, is a force feedback where it will vibrate certain things like footsteps and other sound elements that you would get from the floor. And so that is a really cool effect that, again, you just have to find a cabinet. Now, this is supposed to have been released this month in March, but of course with all the different manufacturing delays that have been going on out there thanks to the virus panic, you've got a lot of delays on a lot of games out there. So I'm guessing this might be ready for a release now, but in a limited sense. And of course, being as big a game as it is, having the price point that it is, from what I've heard, it's comparable to Halo Pirates and Raven Super Deluxe. So that's probably in a $30,000 range. So that means not every arcade is going to be able to get one, but it's going to be great for FECs, big facilities that have some money to spend and have some space to use as well. I mean, I do hope that there is a two-player version of this that comes along. Obviously, that won't be as fun as a four-player version, especially when you have 4 people in there. But still, overall, from what I have played of this, I would recommend giving it a try when you do toss it out there. Definitely should be in arcades summer 2020, and as far as I know, it should be available in North America, Europe as well. They haven't shown this off in Japan yet, so I'm not sure what the plans are for it there. Although I do know from speaking with the producer, he is working on a special 8-player version for Joypolis. And that's Mission Impossible Arcade by Sega. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.